Okay, so I just made two videos that were completely off topic from the original video that I wanted to make, but this is the original video that I wanted to make. So there was a little situation with SHINee yet again, and their manager abusing some girl yet again. And it's the first thing that I woke up to when I went on Twitter, interestingly enough. So if you haven't seen the issue, I'll put the link in the description box because somebody sent me the link earlier. So just click the link if you want to watch it before you watch this video, then that's fine, but whatever, you do you. It's just, I don't know, because when I logged on to Twitter, some girl that my friend follows, I forget what her name is, I think Comrade Jonghyun or something like that, I don't know. She was talking about basically how she felt like the manager was solely at fault and the girl really wasn't at fault. But in my honest opinion, I feel like everybody, well, not everybody, but I feel like the manager and the girl both were at fault for what happened. And the girl apparently dislocated her shoulder or something like that. I don't really know what happened to her, but that's what I've heard. Thank God nothing else happened, but yeah, she dislocated her shoulder, which sucks. But like I said, I feel like they were both in the wrong for the simple fact she shouldn't have ran up to SHINee like that, and the manager should not have manhandled her like that. But it just amazes me that some K-pop fans can just not control themselves. It's ridiculous. I mean, yeah, if they're right next to you, you're gonna be excited and you maybe are gonna run up to them. But this is where I understand where the manager was coming from and doing what he did. If she had had a knife or something like that, then everybody would be on him for not securing or covering them like he should have. So she easily, and she got close to them too from what I saw. So had she had a knife or something like that, she could have stabbed Key right in the neck and he would have lost his life. So I understand why he did it, but given that she didn't have a knife or something like that, given that she was just excited that it was just them, he did manhandle her, and that was really wrong. And from what I saw, when he grabbed her the first time, I don't know if she was trying to get to SHINee, because he yanked her once, and then she went forward. I don't know if she was trying to get to SHINee, or if she was trying to get away from him, but at that point, he should have just let her go. If she was trying to get away from him, he should have just let her go. Like, there was no reason to yank her onto the ground. But like I said, I do understand why he did yank her with such force, because who knows what she could have done to them. She could have done anything to them. And then that also says something about their security, because how do you let a fan get that close to them? Like, you waited a little too late to do your job there. But honestly, I'm just happy that they actually do have security, because a lot of these K-pop groups, they need security, but they don't have security for some reason. They have one manager and like that's it. What is that gonna do? And then we keep hearing about the Sasaeng fans and all the stuff they're going through, and I'm like, okay, number one, why are these fans not being arrested? I don't know much about Korean law because I haven't studied a lot about Korea in college. It was mostly Japan and China. But something about what they're doing has to be illegal. Like, there's absolutely no way that breaking into somebody's house is not illegal in Korea. Like, there's no way. So number one, why these girls aren't being arrested, I don't know. At the least, send them to jail and let their parents handle them after. Because once their parents get involved, I guarantee they're at least going to cut back on the stuff that they've been doing. And number two, why do these groups not have security? You see how crazy these fans are. Heck, TVXQ's old fans and EXO's fans now should show you how crazy a K-pop fan can get. Because those two fandoms are the peaks of crazy. Like, I don't give a damn. You can't sit here and tell me, not all of us are like that, blah, 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 blah. Granted, that's true. But for these instances to keep happening again and again and again to the point where it makes the news, y'all got... You can't say that's out the window. A lot of you are crazy. But it's just like 2 plus 2 is not fish. If you know how crazy fans can get them security. And airport crowdings, airport just getting in the idol's face and stuff like that, that's always an issue. And I never understand why, if it's constantly an issue, why do they not have security? It just doesn't make sense to me. And one manager cannot hold back one girl unless you're SHINee's manager, pimp smacking people, and he needs to be fired. Like I said, I understand why he did what he did, but he needs to be fired. And it's just this Sasaeng fan thing. It's gotten out of hand. It's gotten ridiculous, and it just amazes me how how are you doing something like that at an airport? Like, at least wait until a fan meeting or something like that. I understand you're excited, but there is a certain level of self-control that you need to maintain when you are around that person. And do you really want to be remembered as the girl who got freaking flung by their manager? No. So you can control yourself and walk up to them calmly. You don't have to just like run up to them like they're animals in the zoo, or like the cute pandas that they just got. I wish there were pandas in the zoo. Anyways, it's beside the point. I'm so random. It's just, like I said, it amazes me, but it doesn't shock me at the same time, because I'm really not shocked by anything K-pop fans do nowadays, because, you know, the weekly EXO Psycho fan sighting, I'm just like, they've done worse. So it's pretty much like, what can you say now? They're either going to get security or they're not, because these fans are not going to change overnight. They are going to continue to be the crazy ass people that they are. Not saying that the girl in the video was crazy, because she clearly wasn't. I think she was just excited. But some of these fans, they just take it to a whole nother level, and it's just like, it's disrespectful. And then what really amazes me is some people who have the nerve to say, oh, invasion of their privacy is wrong, they shouldn't do these Sasaeng fans are out of control, especially international fans who say this, and yet you reblog, you retweet, and you link these pictures of them, the cameras right in front of their faces. So by doing that, you're supporting them in what they're doing. So you're just as much the problem as they are. That's why I stopped reblogging, retweeting, whatever. I stopped paying attention to airport photos. I don't look at, yeah, pretty much airport photos, them out on the town. I don't look at any of those pictures anymore, because I don't support that crap. They should be able to walk around a town or go out to eat to fast food, especially in America, without people in their faces 24/7, because they have enough to deal with the paparazzi and stuff like that. Like, why should the fans also be their paparazzi? That doesn't make any sense. And there's a way that you can maintain your self-control and walk up to them and ask, may I have a picture? Instead of just like crowding in front of their faces. And people always go on about how idols are so nice and whatnot. If they're so nice and you feel that way, why don't you just go up to them and ask them for a picture? It's not like they're gonna say flat out no unless they're headed to a schedule or something like that. If they're going out to eat or something like that, you could honestly get your picture. But when you're crowding up into their face and stuff like that, it's not a shock that a group like EXO doesn't really have good things to say about some of their fans. And some people actually had the nerve to get mad at the fact that they were mad at Sasaeng fans and saying that's what they signed up for when they signed their contracts. No. They signed up to make music and make the company money. That's what they signed up to do. They did not sign up to have cameras in their face. Granted, they knew what they were getting into when they signed the contracts. Yes. But you cannot blame them for the actions of a fan. That's ridiculous. And that's like justifying the fact that you're crazy. You can't blame EXO for the fact that you're crazy. What the fuck is that? But I'm gonna wrap up this video. Overall, the whole SHINee thing, the people, number one, the people who are blaming SHINee for this are absolutely ridiculous, because there's nothing that they could do about it. If anything, it would have to be when they're not going to a schedule. It seemed to me like they were going to a schedule or something like that. But had they stopped and actually done something, they probably would have missed their schedule, and SM would have been on their asses. So really, there's nothing they could have done about that. So that's out of the water. Number two, the girl shouldn't have ran up to them like that, because the moment you run up to a celebrity, that's when security gets freaking full-blown. They spring into action. So she shouldn't have ran up to them. She should have walked up to them, and then maybe that wouldn't have happened. I'm not saying it's solely her fault that happened, but had she not ran up to them in the manner that she did, then maybe that wouldn't have happened. And the manager, at this point, if it's the same guy who pimp smacked the other girl or whatever, he does need to be fired at this point. but I do understand why he did what he did, for the simple fact that the girl could have done anything to any one of them. Like I said in the beginning of the video, had she had a knife or something like that, and the fact that she got that close to them, if she really wanted to do something to them at that point, and if she had the tools to do it, she could have easily done it. So that's why I understand why he did what he did. So it's not entirely his fault, but it's also not entirely her fault either. Both parties were in the wrong. But hopefully this is an eye-opener. I highly doubt it, honestly. But hopefully it's an eye-opener to some K-pop fans and self-control in general. Hopefully they learn the definition of self-control. Like I said, I doubt it, because nothing in this fandom shocks me anymore. But it's not gonna stop anytime soon, so maybe I'll be back with another video. Who knows? See ya.